Hello everybody, welcome to another race. This one's live, Lanabean versus NiobiumNarwhal this time, racing with their mentors Professor Render and Foxilisk. JD Silvergun will be our commentator for tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Doing alright. We'll be dropping the gate very soon, so take it away.
Alright, well, good evening everyone. Welcome to already week 3 of the Glitched Mentor Tournament from Go Mode Podcast. So we're going to be doing overworld glitches today, and pretty sure everybody knows what that means at this point, but just in case you don't, it means that clipping is allowed in the overworld, and a variety of other glitches are in logic, even ones that are allowed normally, such as fake flipper and other commonly seen ones. So I don't know, this should be an interesting match. I have seen Lana race before. She's definitely beaten me in some races, some SG dailies. I don't know NiobiumNarwhal, but I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what they're capable of. And we're getting started with a hook shot in Link's house. That is a very nice early item. Since it looks like we are not starting with a sword anymore, that hook shot will allow them to have super speed, which makes several of the clips much easier to execute, or at least faster. Just rupees on the island, so we would be able to get to that if we wanted to, but that is not worth the time of going for. So Niobium is going for a man under the bridge check with a little clip to get a fake flipper. Meanwhile, Lanabean is checking out Sahasrala's closet. Alright, Niobium gets the clip. Very nice. Okay, a shovel and a heart container. And just 5 rupees from the man under the bridge. Well, that's one of those checks I really like to get it out of the way first, because it's one of those things that when you have more options available past the early game, you're just going to forget about it most likely, or just not be able to prioritize it when you have other options available. So key in the sanctuary, so that means the map and I believe 5 items are going to be in the castle whenever they choose to do that. And just 20 rupees at the dig spot, so the shovel not having any value today. Piece of heart and bonk rocks on Niobium's side. Lana doing a little 50-50 bomb farming. Manages to get one. I've seen people there for a very long time, so it's good that she got out of there. Just bombs on the race game, and I believe that was a tier 1 pull for 5 rupees on Niobium's side. I mean, better than vanilla, I guess. I'm not checking the lumberjack unless I missed it. I don't think that they did that, which I would advise to do that in every mode that starts with boots, personally, but that's just me. Okay, so Lanabean got a clip into desert and gets a piece of heart off the ledge. Already going to desert with only 2 bombs for, well, weaponry and a hook shot. I suppose that makes a difference. Can do the compass room, or whatever that one is on the right side. Niobium going into Kakariko. I missed what that chest in desert was. I know the key was on the torch. Doesn't look like it was anything important. A moon pearl and blind's hut for Niobium. That's Yeah, unfortunately very free, so... But also, maybe unfortunately for our runners, that puts a lot of things into logic when they're only just starting out. It could be interesting to see what runners prioritize. In glitched modes, basically the entire Light World overworld is already in logic when you start, except for like a select few things. Now they have a lot of Dark World overworld as well available. It's like Lana not getting any value out of Desert. Hammer in the well, that's very nice, especially when you don't have a sword. Hera immediately becomes clearable with that hammer. Not in logic, unless the big key is not fire locked, though. A 50% refund from the bottle vendor. I suppose that is better than nothing. So Lanabean, checking Agina, it's in a non-key sanity mode. I feel like you want to end your route here and save and quit out of there. A more common route is to clip to K45 and then clip back over, but maybe she's just not familiar with the route, because it looks like she's going to set up that K45 clip. Doing it with dash buffers. Oh no, nope, she remembered. No, sorry, maybe her mentor is telling her that you can use super speed to just walk into the collision there and get a jump for free. Oh, just a piece of heart. Kind of an interesting little route, even though many would argue you lose time with screen transitions going into Agina's cave, but she did a little desert loop before going into town. Oh, Niobium maybe not confident with stealing the bombs, decides to, manually run through the maze and mow the lawn with his bare hands. Very interesting. So the Moon Pearl, the Hammer, and the Bugnet are in Kakariko, and the Flippers as well. So it's not too interesting of a start just yet. Are we going to get our lumberjack check this time? Looks like it. Just rupees. So our runners are spared a very, obnoxious, time-consuming climb and RNG boss fight. Okay, so this is the lumberjack DMA. That is one of my personal favorites. Especially given that Niobium is already equipped to, do things in Hera, can hit switches, can kill the boss. Only the basement would be left behind if there is an item there. So for those that are not aware, or if maybe Niobium watches this back, you can just hold the diagonal the whole time for this DMA, and you'll get to the top. You don't need to do a separate buffer, but maybe just is a little scared, which is, perfectly fine. Some of these glitches are dangerous in the sense that you can hard lock the game and losing progress is definitely not fun ever, and it's even less fun in a race. So yes, we're seeing now firsthand why the flippers are generally not an item that are good to have in glitched modes unless you're trying to check items in Swamp specifically. So some of these already slightly tricky techniques to get back in bounds become more punishing if you fail. Instead of just getting a bonk or a splash, you have to swim out. Oh, this might work. I don't know. Well, that does work. You don't always get it to work like that. But yes, I've been informed that it's a 2-pixel window to do a dash to jump back in bounds there. Okay, big key in the basement cage means that Hera is not fire-locked, so the boss is in logic, and as well as the big chest. Okay, looks like we're getting a bomb Hera pot set up. Going for the Raiden pot. This one actually is the easiest one I've ever seen. I learned it in like a minute when I was actually playing a seed that didn't have boot start. I was surprised at how easy it was. But meanwhile, we're getting what is referred to as the new DMA from Lanabean. I think of it as the one that you see a lot in all the vanilla speedruns, just to get into the old man cave without the need of a glove. That is a little bit of an issue, but that is perfectly correctable. Just a little extra clipping. Manages to get it done. Oh, we see that there was an ice rod in Hera and a bow as well, or did they already have the bow? Well, in any case, this actually is turning out to be maybe quite a few items early in the game. A nice Moldorm kill, that was pretty quick. Compass, so I'm thinking the map is in the basement, but I'll admit that I'm not 100% certain on that. And we get a green pendant for our troubles. And anyone watching in chat, please feel free to correct me if I make a mistake keeping track of things. Just a shield inside of Spectacle Rock. I don't think anyone will be going out of the way for that, especially not Lanabean. We're getting an old man rescue from Niobium. Lana already did this, and looks like it didn't lead to any good items, but the mountain save and quit point is very important in glitched modes. Because the mountain is the center of the world if you use glitches. It's not at the top anymore. So the ice rod and okay, yeah, it was the ice rod and the bow. That is very stacked. Both items, and you don't even have to do the basement. So the map for sure was in the basement then, it looks like. What a kind layout. Unfortunate fall on Lanabean's side. Well, as they say, Trolldorm gonna troll. Looks like Niobium is having a little bit of trouble with this old man rescue. Yeah, if you get a little bit lost, the bats can be mean and possibly even knock you into a pit, which is, you know, unfortunate. Okay, so Lana manages to finish her Moldorm fight as well. 2 green pendants for both of our runners, or 1 each, I should say. It's an unfortunate game over. I have no idea if... Okay, so he did at least talk to the old man, so gets a checkpoint, so that actually might have been a good thing, because at least if that happens, you know where you are at that point, so that might have been actually helpful. Spiral cave on Lanabean's side, everyone's favorite single item cave, I'm sure, and favorite connector if you play entrance. You're just a piece of art. So I don't know, for anyone who's watching who may be less experienced with the game, if this kind of situation happens to you, I would strongly advise looking up a map of the room that you're in online. It shouldn't take that long to find one, and I think there's no shame in it at all. I still occasionally use a map for the Pod Dark Maze, like if I don't have a sword and I'm only using like Boots Dust, I think it makes it a lot easier. And I've played this game like hundreds of hours, and I still occasionally like use the map just because it's quicker. So we see a sword in Paradox Cave. That's a very nice find. And Niobium has found the light of day at last. Thank goodness. Simultaneous hair eclipse from both runners. So one decides to go into the dungeon to correct the camera. Okay, we have Pendant Mire, Pendant Thieves Town on our map check from Lana. Okay, well, Pendant Mire is, I mean, that means we need potentially 1 less item for go mode, so that's something. Thieves Town, I don't know. Thieves Town is probably one of the ones that you always want to be a crystal. It's not too bad. Though an early GT play from Lana, this makes sense with the hammer and hookshot already. Depending on the key layout, a good portion of it is in logic already. And in this mode, the Moon Pearl alone actually will put the torch and the Hope Room chests into logic. So sometimes the seed can be kind of mean and like want you to come in here for something you need early on, but such is not the case this time. Although we did see the big key in Hope Room, which is kind of funny because that's something you would want to see in a no glitches seed. So, Dark Magician's room, we have a green rupee, piece of heart. Also, I advise hammering these things, not sorting them so you get blasted. Okay, 2 small keys. An unfortunate fall. This room is deceptively difficult. For a room that isn't that hard, it can get out of hand. The old spike skip room, as they call it in NMG. This GT play is interesting. I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with it, but it is interesting. It's a little bit surprising. But what will be possibly more surprising is if she finds a lamp or a fire out of here, will she climb? Because the fire will put the top checks in logic, because she already has the hook shot and the big key. ₹20, compass, bombs, and a piece of heart in rando room. So far, a lot of nothing in GT. So meanwhile, Niobium has just been clearing the East Death Mountain, getting the same stuff that Lana already did. The only thing of note was really the sword. Save and quit on Niobium's side. I wonder where he's going to go. We have a full clearable Crystal Eastern, if you're comfortable with dark rooms. Well, actually, maybe not for Niobium, thinking about it. Sorry. Where are we gonna go? Another left side Hera clip, looks like. Okay, Lana into the Ice Armos Knights fight. Okay, nicely executed strat. ₹300, 10 arrows, and 10 arrows. Okay, I missed what was in Bob's chest, but it looks like nothing based on her tracker. There was literally nothing in GT. So, depending on Niobium's routing and that Hope Room big key, Niobium might save some time, get some of his time back that he unfortunately lost navigating the Old Man Cave. Alright, this is a TR climb on Niobium's side. Not always for going to TR, but it is named so after the vanilla speedruns. So we're getting a Super Bunny Cave check. Lana taking time to throw a bomb at the shield. Very nice. And nothing in Super Bunny Cave. I'd imagine we're going to see a hookshot cave play as well from Niobium. It's a simple clip from the bottom of the screen. It can screen wrap you onto the top of the screen, and we can just walk in the back door. Oh, Lana, unfortunately, getting an up teleport instead of a down. And that is a soft lock, but is able to save and quit, so it's not a huge deal. Okay, Niobium looks like he's trying to set up this hookshot cave clip. Oh, I didn't know you could do it from that high. I guess that is more lenient than I thought. Now we're getting another TR climb on Lana's side, in case you missed it on Niobium's. And Niobium has successfully found the back door of Hookshot Cave. Lana forgetting that she doesn't have a glove, a very natural thing to do in this game. Well, first bottle in Hookshot Cave. And a mirror. So swamp fully in logic now with the mirror, hammer, hookshot combination. And moon pearl, obviously. So the Quake for TR, not that that is required, but it can be opened for routing purposes if they find Quake and desire to do so. So we're getting a catfish DMA, and looks like one of the inputs was a little wrong. An unfortunate soft lock there. Well, actually, I'm actually not sure. I mean, I assume it was a soft lock, but I've never actually seen that go wrong. Normally if you just hold down, everything's fine. And just a piece of heart for the green pendant turn in. I think Lana probably gonna make her way over to Eastern with that bow. It's not gonna be fully in logic unless we find a lamp or fire rod there, but I mean, that wouldn't stop most people. It certainly wouldn't stop me. It's a crystal dungeon. So, Niobium. With the Hera clip going into the Dark World. Probably looking to set up a offset mirror portal from the looks of it. It needs to find the inlet to jump down to Spike Cave. Yep, there it is. And Lana into Eastern. Nothing in the first chest. So for those that are not aware, if you use the collision, the wall, like directly below that staircase, you can set up your Y pixel for this mirror portal for free, and then you just need to walk to the left far enough. I find that easier than trying to have to just wing it for both coordinates. Nothing wrong with going this way from Link's house, but if you plan to combo the castle with this portal, which I don't see why you wouldn't, there is a faster way to approach the castle from the sanctuary, referred to as some by the river clip or north moat clip. See another bottle and pyramid fairy, and not what you're hoping to see. Oh, Samaria on Pyramid Ledge. So we know that that's required for TR. So Alana dealing with an unfortunate vanilla big key in Eastern. Forced to do the full dungeon. Just a piece of heart in the big chest of Eastern. See King of Berna in the Uncle passageway. Niobium abandoning the castle looks like. Now, I guess approaching from the south makes sense if you're not planning to check the castle. Although we know the castle does have 5 items because the key was in Sanctuary. I am personally a big fan of skipping the castle, but if you're already there, it is an interesting choice to skip it if you're already over there. Yeah, wanting to go back to finish the catfish maneuver, I see. Although it is notably very difficult to do from this side without oh, well, actually they have the hammer. Never mind, it's not bad at all. There's another piece of art on the boss in Eastern. I can't say I'm surprised there was no value in Eastern, but it is the first crystal of the race for our runners, picked up by Lanabean. Oh, there's a few different ways to go about what Niobium's trying to do right now. In all cases, you're gonna have to teleport down, I'm pretty sure. Or at least the only 2 ways I know how to do it. Decides against it, apparently. So, Lanabean into the dark world again. Not fixing the camera, so not sure where she's going. Oh, this could be a super jump. Yep, super jump. Meanwhile, Niobium is going over to Pod. I'm gonna pay an unfortunate fine to the monkey to open the door. Actually, he's gonna mirror and check the green pendant first. We know this was nothing, but I like the routing, though. And so Lana successfully was able to do the South Dark World super jump and enter Swamp Palace to correct the camera. Can actually full clear Swamp if she wants to, but decides not to. So we know it's a crystal. Oh, interesting. No, I don't know. It's so rare that people check catfish from below. I've never seen anyone do it that way. So we see a fire rod in Hype Cave, our first fire source. And interestingly, the Flippers and Moon Pearl and Fire Rod put Ice Palace into logic. It's not an ideal place to go with no glove. However, a glove can be there. Not saying they should be rushing Ice Palace, but it is in logic. So it was 3 pieces of heart in Eastern? Okay, I wasn't sure about the first item, but... Oh. So Niobium deciding to do Eastern before Pod. And meanwhile Lana just into Pod. Okay, small key in the first chest, the shooter room. Big key in the bridge chest. Dropping down to the Stalfos basement, we see bombs. If there's someone who is not me, can inform you something about the key logic based on that information. I know there has to be at least 2 keys in the front. Don't know if the big key counts as one of those keys. I think not, but I'm not sure. I generally only play key standard mode, so I'm bad at the logic of standard dungeon items. A small key on the right side and a small key on the right side. Unfortunate fall on Lanabean's side. If she had went to the pyramid, she could use the Samaria for the stair extension and not have had to deal with that mess. This room's just kind of obnoxious sometimes. The arena. Oh, a bufferless hammer jump. Wow, impressive. I was a little worried at first because she was taking a little while to set it up, but that was actually pretty smooth. Oh no. An unfortunate death on Neo's side. A little bit concerned about Niobium. He seems not experienced with dark rooms. There's newer runners, please. On the ALTTPR website, there are a lot of helpful maps. So even if you don't know the room, with a map and a sword, you can do any dark room, I promise. So looking at our situation, I think this is actually no mode for the audience because the Samaria, Pyramid Ledge, and Mirror and Hookshot Cave that Lana's missing. Well, we need a sword actually, that's the only thing. Because a Master Sword is required for the Ganon fight, or better. And Niobium is probably not going to want to finish the game without the lamp from the looks of the gameplay, which is, you know, unfortunate, but I remember not too long ago I was there. It takes some time to learn the game. Alright, so Lana is going into actually one of the most dangerous dark rooms in the game, but has the fire rods, so this should be no problem. Okay, quickly lighting the torch, not even going to flip any of them over. First, really that works. There's a lot of different approaches. I like to just muscle memory the first part of the strat, because the second part is slightly RNG dependent, so you can flip some of them over and then light the torch, and then as you saw, the rest of the room is just standard once you light the torch. Also getting a hammer jump from Niobium, nice. So other than half magic, I'm not seeing any value. Oh, I'm mistaken about the go mode. I am way too used to no logic at this point. They need a glove for cold stare. That was my mistake. I was actually just thinking that before I read that in the chat. Thank you, Malmo, for the reminder. That is true. Okay, so glove and sword our shopping list, and if either of those things are in Mire and the other ones are not available, then we'll need a medallion. So nothing super valuable out of pod. Half magic is nice, but it's not what you're hoping to find. This pod is such a lengthy dungeon to full clear, but I guess I don't know if that's fair to say, but you could save a lot of time by skipping the back of pod with that big key in the front. Is probably a more accurate statement. So Lana heading to the pyramid, going to get her Samaria. It will be interesting to see if she knows the swim clip to get into Pyramid Fairy. Not that there was anything great there, but... Well, actually for her it'll be the first bottle, so that will unlock the sick kit check. So actually this check would have more value for her than it did for Niobium, but decides to save and quit. Which is no problem. So don't always know all your options, or it being a race, maybe if she's not comfortable with it, doesn't want to go for it. There is a hard lock risk associated with that particular clip if you are not careful and extremely observant. There's a lot of thinking. And maybe didn't want to jump down from the hair clip. Maybe she wanted to correct the camera. Another unfortunate death on Niobium's side. But not the worst place to die, but it's definitely not what we want to see. It's a minimal time loss, at least. Actually, that might have been intentional to get back to the front. I'm not even sure. No, well, never mind. They have the mirror, so I don't know. Maybe it was a mistake. So it was key for key as expected in the vanilla big key chest. And Niobium not having the fire rod, it's not terribly surprising, decides to bail on pod. So Lanabean showing us the hookshot cave clip. In case you missed it on Niobium's side. Oh, unfortunately gets a bad input there. You know, some of this stuff I actually don't really remember how to do it. It just becomes muscle memory after you do it as many times. I think what you're supposed to do is dash turn there. So, since Niobium died in the Dark World, the game tried to put him in the Light World, or they, at my mistake, I'm not sure of the pronouns. So, I'm not sure if this routing was intentional, but you get put into the fake Dark World when you die in a Dark World dungeon. And so what that does is when you screen transition, it loads the real Light World. And actually, interestingly enough, we have not seen the South Shore checks, I don't think yet, although we're still not really seeing them. Well, we saw the damp, which was nothing, but yeah, Mini Moldorm is normally a early place to check. It's a very dense item location. This time, Lana having no issues with the hookshot cave clip. And Niobium clipping to K45. So Lana is going to get her first bottle and the mirror in this hookshot cave location. Bottle, of course, being a nice safety and unlocking the sick kid check. Oh, right, I'm silly. Of course, she didn't have the mirror when she went to Swamp. I was getting mixed up who had done what earlier. Lana, I was thinking that if you were gonna do the South Dark World super jump and you're going to walk into Swamp anyway, it would be efficient to just check some items there and finish the dungeon, but of course she didn't have the mirror yet. That was my mistake. So, meanwhile, Lana showing us that, you know, the wall on the mountain is just a suggestion that we can just use super speed to jump onto the bridge. And now, we're getting a Turtle Rock play. It's Samaria and both rods and the hammer. I don't foresee her having any issues here. The last arrow on the crystal switch in Chomps, that is, not that that's a huge concern, but I don't know, they're nice to have sometimes. Alright, so not getting a key out of the first check she does is gonna be forced to go to the vanilla big key chest or just leave. It looks like we're getting a mimic cave check. Makes sense. Mimic Cave is kind of a spot that you might forget about, and it gives us a book, which doesn't exactly do anything for us at the moment. It gives us information on 3 checks, none of which are accessible at the moment. Okay, mini Moldorm Cave on Niobium's side. A sneaky glove could just be here all along. With a sword, even. So, I don't know. We'll see. Piece of Hearts. Cape. Another bottle. Red armor. And bombs. Okay. Not what we're looking for. Well, nice safeties, but not what we're looking for. So Niobium needs to get their fire rod out of Hype Cave, and I'm hoping for their sake that the lamp turns up, because they're having a bit of a time with this seed, which is unfortunate. Ice Rod Cave is the red boomerang, which is not really anything that is going to be that helpful. Stunning enemies and hitting switches, maybe. Okay, we're getting a water walk, so looks like we're getting Zora and the waterfall. Flutes and waterfall, which is, you know, it could be helpful, but it has no logical significance in this mode. 300 rupees on the ledge. Alright, so Lana made her way to the front of Turtle Rock. Gonna see the compass chest, which is the map this time. Only 10 arrows on Zora on the Niobium side. Okay, into the right side of CR, the fire-locked side. So from Niobium, saving quit to the mountain. Where are we going now? Looks like a graveyard ledge descent. Okay, compass and big key on the front right side of Turtle Rock. Small key in the big chests. Okay, looked like nothing in graveyard ledge. There's some recently discovered tech. You can go to King's Tomb with the hook shot from there, but I do find it a little finicky with the fighter's sword. You have to blow up the bush with a bomb instead of using your sword, so it's... I don't know, I've just not had any luck with it, but maybe I just don't know how to do it without the Master Sword or better. So, but regardless of that, though, the King's Tomb check is in logic in overworld glitches, regardless of having a glove or not, so it is an isolated check for both of our runners at this point. And in my experience first learning these modes, the game loves to put like a sword or something there. Okay, into Laser Bridge on Lana's side. Taking the safety door, which makes sense because she only has 2 hearts. Looks like we're getting Death Mountain Descent, or DMD, from Niobium, the Dark Descent. Okay. So, bonking puts us nicely on top of the transitions, just so we get a thought or a funny auto walk thing. So, classic overworld glitch tech. Okay, so bumper ledge is a piece of heart. So getting a Skullwoods play. Oh, there was a glove on Laser Bridge. So Lana is in sword mode. And also into the Trinex fight. We see a heart container in Skullwoods on Niobium's side. In the pinball chest. Decides to save and quit. I missed what happened, but I'm assuming that they did not intend to drop into that hole. It can happen to the best of us. Alright, Lana doing nicely on this fight. And playing it really safe. I like this. This strategy is completely safe if you know how to manipulate Trinex's movement. As long as you're not super aggressive. The last phase is definitely a lot easier to manage. Alright, just 10 arrows on the boss himself. And another crystal for Lana. So another Dark Mountain descent from Niobium. I'll be interested to see if they decide to do something else, having already gotten one item out of Skullwoods, and Skullwoods not being a very dense play. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna check out the Village of Outcasts here. Meanwhile, Lana mirroring and then using the portal in the light world to go back to the dark world. Thought we checked this already, or maybe I'm just mixed up and we only saw it on the left side. Yeah, she did already check it. I guess better safe than sorry. So the brewery has the lamp. So that is the first fire source for Niobium, and is definitely going to help them out. Just 20 rupees in the chest game. Unfortunately for Niobium, I am pretty confident that Lana does not care about the lamp to finish this seed, is really only going to want to find a sword or two, possibly silvers. Tile room on Lana's side, and a flute activation for Niobium. Well, this is like a borderline time in the seed where maybe it will save you time, but maybe not. I don't know, it's kind of rare to see the flute activation late into a glitched seed, but the Niobium still has a lot of dungeons to clear, so it makes sense. Oh, and about the Skullwoods thing, I apologize, I'm bad at reading chat and watching the race, but yeah, what I do to avoid falling in the hole in Skullwoods when I remember is if you wait for the Ropa to move and then walk on the left side, you can hug the bush and just make it across, and as long as you wait for the enemy to move first, you'll be able to get across before the enemy can move again. That is the strategy that I go with. So dig game for Niobium. Lana almost to the compass room in GT. Not even a full refund for the dig game. And we see the Master Sword is in compass room for Lana and a heart container, so that I'm pretty confident she's going to call that go mode. It may open a few chests along the way, but I can't honestly see her checking too much at this point. Although she may be new to the glitched scene, she is definitely, been in like main tournament qualifiers and SG dailies like very regularly. And she is starting her climb. Gets through the mimics rooms. Taking an unfortunate fall in the Ganonball Z room. Meanwhile, Niobium has clipped into the mire area using a simple teleport. Nothing of value in the mire shed. Okay, mire is ether. I missed where we found that Quake medallion, but I'm glad that Niobium's not getting sucked into mire. There is one other glove that may be available. It might not necessarily be glove locked, and there are 2 swords that we don't know about, but other than that, there's not really any value that Niobium can find. I mean, maybe the second bow would help with the Ganon fight and a few other rooms, but nothing especially helpful, I would think. Meanwhile, Lana is through the gauntlet onto the Wizrobes, going into the second Wizrobes room. No issues. So we know earlier from Lana that there was nothing of value in Desert. However, Niobium is here with the fire source, so we'll be able to get the crystal, do the boss. Art container and 20 rupees in the mini Helma room. It'll be interesting to see how many checks Lana does at this point. I mean, these on-the-way checks are definitely not, you know, these are not bad at all. We see Bombos in the pre-Moldorm. Oh no! Oh, well, I was mistaken. I thought something bad had happened because she turned back. Like maybe she forgot a key or something. I was confused by that movement. Don't mind me. Sorry about that. Quick Moldorm fight with the hammer. Just 10 arrows in our validation chest. And Niobium into the back of Desert. Approaching the torches. Meanwhile, Lana into the Agatu fight. Perhaps one of the most annoying fights in the game. No relent on these blue balls. Oh, a slight relent. Alright, gets it done. Sadly, clipping is not permitted in this mode. Okay, they're getting some Ice Rod strats on Landmo. Niobium correctly knowing that the hitbox of the Ice Rod projectile starts far away from you. Getting the fight done. Just 10 arrows on the boss and a crystal. Okay, Lana. Back into the overworld. And GT is cleared for her. Well, this is interesting routing. Maybe she's not aware that she's in go mode, or maybe I'm mistaken about something. Oh, never mind. A potion shop. Yeah, this makes sense. We stock up for the rest of the game. Yeah, that makes perfect sense to do that. So Niobium going back into his mirror portal, or their mirror portal, after doing Desert. So also back in the Dark Overworld. Lana went back to the Light World with a save and quit to Link's house. So this looks like a play to finish off Desert from here. So Niobium going to Hype Cave, going to get the Fire Rod here. As Lana showing us that directional input is complicated in this game. Hooking in the wrong direction is a surprisingly easy mistake to make. Alright, looks like we're getting a swamp play from Niobium. So, for Niobium's sake, we're hoping that the other glove is here, and that also a sword is here. Lana is almost certainly going to go mode all of this. So Lana picking up her desert crystal, no problem. Save and quit. Very curious where she's going to go next. So save and quit to Link's house. This is looking to be probably a swamp play as well. We could knock out swamp and then go to ice after that. But you're kind of trapped after you go to ice, so it makes sense to go to swamp first. Well, maybe not. Maybe she is going to ice first, yeah. Not an issue, just a little bit surprising. So what we're seeing now is the flipper wrap, and this is actually the logical way. Now, decides against it. Maybe we're going for the mirror wrap. Nope, back to the flipper wrap. I see this clip, if you could even call it that, because it's multiple screen wraps with multiple clips. Anyway, this trick to get to Ice Palace is one of the most annoying, in my opinion, because there's so many enemies on the screen, and you have to do... Like, it is possible to speed this up with careful hook clipping, but if you're not careful, you can fall off the ledge and have to start over again. So, you have to teleport or hop up twice. Then you do like a tap up, dash down, and then wrap the screen again, and then do it again. And then after that, you have to transition down and then transition to the right. And actually, I'm not even 100% certain because I haven't done it in a while, but there's a lot of careful steps. This honestly rarely comes up because most people just do the mirror wrap because it's easier and faster, but yeah, there's definitely some potential risks with this, and it just takes a while to do if you're not practiced at it. So, yeah, Lana was at the part of the clip where I believe the correct inputs are tap up and dash down, but it might not have been positioned correctly. So, meanwhile, Niobium... judging from this tracker, has not found anything of value. Okay, Lana gonna give it a go again. Yeah, so this part... Yeah, I think if you just clip until you jump, but getting grief from this bomber, of course. Sometimes you might just want to... especially if you're learning a clip, you might just want to bombos the screen and so you don't have to worry about the enemies, but she gets the kill with the hook shot. Okay, so, alright. I hope that her and her mentor are like looking at a guide for this or something, because this is just something you don't really want to have to do. Okay, tap up. Good. Dash down. Okay, good. Now you have to go to the right and wrap the screen. So at this point, the camera is, you know, I don't know, questionable. However, for some reason, we get the same collision here. So you can clip back up onto the same ledge that you were on before. So you have to do the process again. However, the steps will be different after the second time you do the dash. So meanwhile, Niobium doing an Argus fight. A little bit annoying with Fighter Sword, to be sure. Okay, so she gets the second wrap. Yeah, so you go down and then you go to the right. And then I think you go down again, yeah. And then up, and yep. Alright, well this is good review. So she's a little to the left of where the door is, but once you're inside the courtyard like that, nothing can go wrong, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, so that is actually logical access to Ice Palace. Not preferable access, in my opinion, and most people's opinions, but there you go. So Niobium back into Swamp. Going back for either the left side or Big Chest or both. Not certain. I was, you know, a little concerned about Lana's clipping because I'm not 100% sure of the risks that are associated with that particular wrap. But interestingly enough, there are some runners in the community that are very practiced at that flipper wrap and can do it almost as quick as the mirror wrap, which surprised me, but it just goes to show with practice, a lot of things become easier and simpler. Shoutouts to Mr. Byer, a very, very good glitched runner in the community. So it looks like Lana had a few issues with the icebreaker, but manages to get through it, and Niobium is setting up a diver down for left side. So since at this time our runners are just, you know, doing regular dungeon stuff that we see normally, perhaps this would be a good time for you to, you know, consider following these runners. They're putting on a great show, and you know, spending their time to, you know, show us the learning process, which you know, despite this being a game, the learning process is not always fun, and there are a lot of risks and stress involved associated with racing, so it is very kind of them to volunteer their time for this tournament. So please do follow Lanabean and Niobium. And if you are not already following, please follow Super Malmo World as well. A very knowledgeable and friendly person in the community. So Lana has finished her cold stare fight. So just bombs and a piece of heart on left side. That is very unfortunate for Niobium. Alright, Niobium heading back to pod. Fully armed with fire, with the lamp and the fire rod. So Lana into the Lost Woods, going to be using the portal. Have to imagine this is a Skullwoods play. Alright, looks like we're gonna take care of Eastern first on Niobium's side. A classic Lana, taking time out of her race to get the shield eaten by the picket. Oh, Lana going with the classic, the fire rod, everything to death in the mummy hallway. Very effective. And into the Mothula fight. Now this fight, if you don't get the quick kill, is a complete RNG nonsense. Which the quick kill obviously not going to be possible without the tempered sword. But that was a very fast fight for Master Sword. Wow, that is very impressive. Okay, so we get a crystal on Lana's side, and we get a crystal on Niobium's side as well from Eastern. Yeah, okay, now we're getting the swamp play from Lana. Okay, I think I know what the thought here is. If you do swamp last, you are closer to Ganon. That could be the routing decision here. Perfectly reasonable. There's usually something you only think about in, like, I don't know, what would you think? Inverted? It was Swamp last, because Swamp is next to GT. I don't know. So it also possibly of note, so Lana's Ganon fight, the Master Sword Silverless, because we know she's not going to get anything helpful in this Swamp Palace, even if she checks. Definitely not an easy fight to do, and also the fact that she already did GT and then did other dungeons, it's very possible this Ganon fight is going to be more difficult than normal on top of that, because we don't have the Ice Armos Knights fight to set the arc variable in our friendly familiar pattern that we see in NMG runs and in a lot of no glitches randomizer seeds. So the bats are going to be very unpredictable. And Lana did not find the cape like Niobium did. That has a potion still, but yeah. I mean, I think she'll be fine, but I'm just saying it's just not going to be an easy fight. Even very, accomplished runners who have run low percent categories will tell you that the Master Sword Ganon fight is very difficult. So, excuse me, Niobium making some quick work of the back rooms pod into the helm sword fight. Lana giving us a bomb diver down. I'll never understand why people prefer that over Samaria, but she did do it fairly quickly there. Alright, nice hammer kill on Niobium's side for the helm sword fight. Now, I don't disagree that the bomb diver down is, good to know, but I'm pretty sure that she knows both. A lot of experienced runners tend to favor the bomb one for some reason, even though, like, objectively it's not as good. It's slower and more resource intensive. Oh, going with my favorite, the Ice Rod Phase 2 on Argus. Been very nicely done. Okay, Niobium back to the mountain. Wonder where they're gonna go with this. Back to the Dark World. So Alana, having already achieved 7 crystals and defeated Aghanim 2, is going to hoof it over to Ganon in the pyramid. Okay, and now we're getting a GT clip from Niobium, in case you missed it earlier. This is usually one of the first clips people learn, I think. Just because there's an easy lineup for it. I'm going to get the sword in the right side. And the glove was here too, I'm pretty sure. Okay, Lana into the Ganon fight. Gets a spin off the bat and a trident spin, very nice. Using the wall to get a double spin. Niobium unfortunately going left first, and we know there was a whole lot of nothing over here. Alana into phase 2. This is the most dangerous part of the fight. Looks like we're employing some hook blocking and careful dodging. Wow, Lana has gotten quite good at this game, and I'm really impressed with some of the boss fights that she's done in this seed. Been making this look easy. Already into phase 3. Alright, so if anyone is not aware, phase 4 is very simple, but it's also very long if you don't have silver arrows. First, she's going to want to get the torch glitch. Ganon informs us that the arrows were in the Dark World, so that could be any of our overworld locations, such as the blacksmith, or hammer pegs, places like that. So Alana successfully got the torch glitch. Now just has to do 24 spins. Honestly, this part of the fight. It's really just long, and I really would be shocked if she messes it up at this point. And honestly, this part is more of a battle to pay attention than anything else, because it just takes so long to get it done, but we don't have a choice here. Nice getting a spin in the top right. That can be one of the most annoying, and he is just not avoiding that top right. There's really annoying patterns from Ganon here. Alright, the final spin has been done. Let's get our GGs in chat for Lanabean, who will be winning this race with a very fast time. I'm gonna call that 1:26. I do not have the official time. I apologize for that. Meanwhile, Niobium unfortunately running out of arrows. I don't know what is customary in these mentor races. I'm guessing that Niobium is going to finish this out for the sake of learning purposes. 1:26:02. Thank you very much, Momo. That is a very fast time. Some of these seeds can really troll you. So, it's not uncommon for a glitched seed to actually take longer than a no glitches seed, depending on the item arrangement. Gloves and things can be in nasty places if, you know, ice palace, a crystal, or just weird things can happen. So, yeah, this is a very impressive showing from Lana. Okay, there is a seeding incentive to finish the race if it's less than 15 minutes. Okay, that makes sense. Having a bit of time with these Gibdos. I encourage people that are not familiar with the strat to practice the Samaria dash, because it not only will it set you up to activate the switch, it will also push them away from you if you set it up quickly enough. Okay, well, Niobium finding the Master Sword should, be able to call that go mode. Or wait, was the glove not there? I apologize, I might be mistaken about... I'm sorry, I forgot where it was. Oh, hello. We're joined by Lanabean, the winner of tonight's race. So, GG, congratulations.
Thank you, GG. So many mess ups.
You're fine, honestly. I was really impressed with your execution throughout this seed, particularly the Ganon fight and the Mothula fight. You're just all around very solid showing.
Thank you, and a big thank you to Renderer for helping me with several things I kept forgetting about. So thank you, Renderer.
Yeah, no problem. We had to cover the flipper wrap to Ice Palace because I figured that would have been the right because I was saying either you do whatever is more comfortable to you. Do you do flipper wraps or do you do mirror wrap? And there was a little bit of I think that would maybe have been an indecision to choosing, or maybe that just you were intended to do the flipper wrap and then just chose to do that, like just to do like replace in a similar thing. You were doing like mirror, like the way you do it for mirror wrap.
Yeah, I mean, the flipper wrap is the way the logic expects you to do it, but either are perfectly okay to do, perfectly legal and okay.
Yeah.
Most people tend to prefer the mirror wrap.
Yeah, it's
in
more,
my experience.
Yeah, it's more quicker to do the mirror wrap than it is the flipper wrap.
GG.
Yeah, definitely. I actually was forgetting about how to do the flipper wrap as I was watching it. GG. We're joined by Fox and Niobium as well.
GG's to you.
GG's.
But I just had too many mistakes, I think, this seed. I should have finished close to like 12, 13, 14 minutes ago, I think, plus, but a lot of unfortunate mistakes.
Yeah, we were talking after the race that we felt that the mirror ended up being a blessing in disguise, because we would have had to do more mirror stuff, at least along the way. Even though, yes, granted, you don't have to do the mirror checks like with glitch modes, but like it's there and just for convenience sake.
Yeah, I was realizing when you first went by Swamp from doing the super jump that you didn't have the mirror. So I don't know, I liked the routing. So did you decide to do Swamp last because it was closer to Ganon?
Yes.
Yep, and at Swamp, run up north. Otherwise, no other dungeon led directly there.
Yeah, my thought was, well, I want to make sure we get Ice Palace done like as soon as possible because I'm more worried about hard locking here. So after Desert, I just told her to save quit, and there's also why we also got a potion as well, because like it just to prepare for the Ice Palace, just in case. And that's why, yeah, after Deserts, I told her to save quit just to make sure we can lock that in, just to protect any from a hard block.
Yeah, that's always wise. Also, I mean, that probably was the fastest way to route it as well.
I figured as much because I just made sense in my mind to do that.
So what went on with my opponent, or what's going on? I see a unfortunate. I see a forfeit. How did things go?
I mean,
Niobium, would you like? Go ahead.
but okay. The back Eastern Dark Room is definitely a nemesis of mine. And also not finding gloves.
Yeah, where were the
So
gloves at?
that's why I'm wondering where gloves were.
They were my go mode, I think, right? I think.
They were go.
Sword?
They were. So it was a sword. It was sword go, and if it was in Laser Bridge. That was it, right? Laser Bridge.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was my only one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of musing over about that mirror because I would have been happy to see mirror wrap because it's my favorite way to get into Turtle Rock. But hey, at least it worked out in a way that made sense.
Well, the big key was in the front anyway, so hey, you may not have saved time with that. It's kind of hard to route. It just depends on the layout, or the keys and all that.
Turtle Rock, one of my many issues with the several mirrors, the accidental skipping of lava chest, and yeah. That was a special place. But fighting Trinex on 1.5 hearts and not getting hit, I'll take it.
Yeah, your boss fights were all very solid. It was really nicely done.
Thank you, it was fun. But otherwise, yeah, I think that's not much more for me to say about that. But, Neo, sorry about the glove. Were you guys going to... Did you just not get to Turtle Rock quite yet?
No, we weren't there quite yet.
Oh. I took a super early trip up there, I think. Sorry, Fox, go ahead.
Yeah, we had just got done finding the Master Sword in GT, and I guess Turtle Rock was likely to be the next thing. It was either that or Skull next.
You did Mountain before we did South Shore, which...
Well, so we did... When we did
out.
Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave, we opted to Catfish DMD, which ended up not actually working out. But basically, it was you could do that or you could dip into TR. We just we're gonna do the Catfish DMD instead of the TR dip, and I guess you just chose the other option. From what it sounds like, if you said you did it early.
I didn't go to TR's. Sorry, go ahead.
I was thinking, like, when there was the option to do TR, like, was not necessarily well equipped for that at that point. Which is why we were going to go down to Catfish.
I'm too scared to put off TR very long. In the early seeds that I played of this so far, I have not completed many. Turtle Rock has had Samaria, if not something else, almost every single time. It's weird.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, this time you had... yeah, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, Lana, you had Samaria and both rods before you went there, so, I mean, it wasn't... I don't want to say it was super early or anything, but it definitely, wasn't your last crystal or anything like that.
No, I failed to get up there. I was going to go do... I think Render and I were trying to get up to Hookshot Cave for a minute, and then I was like, whatever. We went into, what?
It was Eastern.
Well, we went to Hira super early, so we got the bow and ice rod, and it's like, okay, well, if things don't work out up here, we can go immediately over to Eastern and Pod eventually.
Yeah, it was after, I believe, the second attempt that that was when we decided, okay, let's cut our losses, let's go to Eastern.
Yeah, but we thought overall the seed was pretty good. I made quite a few mistakes going through it, but overall it was a fair seed that didn't require an insane amount of tough glitches. It just required apparently not going South Shore or Thieves Town area or anything like that. It's very weird.
Yeah, we barely touched the entirety of the overworld when we did it. When we were in the voice call, we just said, oh, we were playing a game with the dragons essentially.
Well, we saw the lamp was in the brewery on Niobium's side, but I don't recall much value in the overworld checks. I mean, the fire rod was in Hype Cave, obviously, but...
That kind of got us going in Dark World. We were like, we gotta find a fire source.
Yeah, I was trying to remember where the first sword was, which I think was in Saha's closet.
No, I think it was
Paradox.
East F Mountain.
Paradox?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Paradox.
I don't know. It seemed like a lot of the decisions just ended up coming up pretty good this seed, I think. Not many places I went to didn't have some sort of progression. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and skip Day Game and Stumpy and just go straight for Pod, and suddenly around the area you're like, hey, Samaria, but Pod was just empty.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think the Samaria was just nice that it ended up being there after Pod. Just that helped. That definitely helps get things going.
Immediately after that, I'm saving quitting. And just say to render TR, he's like, yeah, TR.
Yeah, it was already evident from the Ice Rod and Fire Rod that it was like, okay, I think if we got a chance to do TR, we definitely do it. So with Samari being there, it's like, okay, that's just a no-brainer. We go to Turtle Rock, full stop.
Makes sense. Niobium, do you have any thoughts about the seed? Or anything you'd like to share about your experience with the Glitched Mentor tournament?
I mean, so far so good. It's been fun. I've been enjoying learning a bunch of new tricks and things and the different kind of logic, and I'm enjoying it, even if today's race was not as smooth as it could be.
It happens. Well, Lana won and she's not happy with her performance, so maybe it's just part of it. But none of us are perfect, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
glad you at least enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We're in for fun. It's a fun tournament. Even like I'm learning. That's about it for me. I think I'm just learning. It's fun.
That's the best you can realize way out of it. Really, it's like, well, eventually after all this, who knows? Maybe we'll have bigger races for like stuff like dailies or like even just like the pickup overall like the glitch modes too. Yeah, I think I have nothing else to say. I'm gonna get out. So yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks to Jinx, JD, Silvergun for commentating this, and thanks Malmore for putting on the restream.
Yes, thank you all very much. It was greatly appreciated. I didn't even know about the restream until just before the race, and Render was like, "Oh yeah, Melmo's doing it." It's like, "Oh, okay, cool, thanks." Yep. But thank you all again. I'll duck out here too. But thank you all so much. You did a fantastic job, and GG's again to both of you as well. My opponent here, and thank you, yo. It was a fun race. Thank you.
Then thank you.
Jeez, thanks all.
And GG to both of our runners again, and thank you to both of them for racing. Thank you to our mentors, Professor Renderer